What's going on, everyone? We're gonna put together some sheepshead jigs for suspended fishing. I designed these last year. They were supposed to get made by a company, but I don't know. I think he is making them, but that whatever. We're gonna make our own here. Doing all high quality parts. These are inline trolling sinkers, USA lead, and they already have some swivels built in, so these are a little bit more expensive. You get 4 for $6 here, but without having to buy swivels, it ends up being a little cheaper. Or owner split rings. I like the hyper wires, or you can use Spro split rings. Anything else kind of ends up being junk. If you got just a cheap split ring in this size, they would probably be like an 18 pound. So 50 pound on the number 4s. I think number 3s are 45 pounds. They're a little smaller. They're actually a little harder to open up. Split ring pliers would be ideal, but I don't have them. And hooks are probably the most important. These are Gamakatsu straight eye octopus hooks. Do not use offset eye hooks. The straight eye gives a much better hookup ratio. The only other thing that works well is the Gamakatsu bait holder hooks, and they have an offset eye, but it bends to the inside of the J, and that hooks up real well too. So, but these are pretty simple to build. As far as painting these, I mean, everybody likes their flashy colors, but the fish absolutely do not care. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Just raw lead. You're gonna catch just as many fish, maybe more. Alright, hook size. We're going to use anywhere from a number 2 up to like a 3/0. I think these are 2/0s. You want to size the hook really to the size of the fish, but also to the size of the bait that you're using. So if you're using, if they're keyed in on tiny sand fleas, you're going to want a smaller hook. And the same is true if there's only little fish around. A smaller hook's going to be way easier for them to chew on. So you got 2 options with these. You can put the hook on the narrow end, which is kind of my preferred. It keeps the weight just a little bit away. But you can also put it on the heavier end. It'll be a little bit more stable if you put the hook on the heavier end. If you're in a lot of current, having the mass of the weight down keeps it from wobbling, a crazy amount. But usually at that point, I'm just stepping up to a 2-ounce weight. So I'm going to put these together. I just use a nail file. Kind of slip it in like that. If this thing would focus, opens up the ring. Okay, just get that started. And then the hook. Alright, so that's it. That is ready to fish. It's really cool they got a swivel on both ends, because sometimes if you just have the one swivel on the top, that crab will start spinning, and that swivel won't kind of spin as quick as it needs to, and it'll twist your braid up pretty bad. These split rings, I like this size because it forces the hook to kind of just stay in the single part of the wire. Sometimes if you use a little smaller split ring, it'll twist just right and then get stuck on the double part. One other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if this is going to focus on this. If you can see right where the eye comes around and touches the shank, there's a little notch. And that little notch is just enough to help you out. It's actually for when if you snell the hook, the line will sit in there. But if you use that little notch to put the split ring right through that, it's a lot narrower, so you don't have to open the split ring as far. So you can just kind of check it out there. Just kind of sitting right in that notch. And yeah, if you put the hook on first, it should hold it open. And you can get your swivel started. Alright, so that's all 4 of those ready to go. So the main reason I designed these was, like I said, they're specifically for suspended fish. You don't want to, bottom fish with these. That's what a bottom sweeper's for. That's why they're called bottom sweepers. And bottom sweepers do work suspended, but the problem is if you're in super heavy current, like we run these up to 3 ounces sometimes to keep them in place in the current. If you buy a 3-ounce bottom sweeper, it has a crazy heavy, like 5/0, 4 extra strong hook built into it. And you can build these a 3-ounce weight with a number 2 hook. And really get the optimal hook size for the fish and the bait. So that's kind of how these started. The trolling weight also gives you almost no resistance coming up, and kind of really let you differentiate if the current just caught your weight, or if a fish, a kind of a shy fish has just picked up your bait and started to move away with it. So, but that's how these started. I bring these out on every one of my trips that I do. If you book a trip, these come with me, as many as you need, and I bring as much bait as you could need. So appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.